All right, my beautiful people, if you are seeing this between January 22nd and January 31st, this message is for you. And I'm not even going to get into the plethora of astrology that's going on. Just know that this is a big series of days. This is a big, little over a week. And the primary emotion that a lot of people seem to be feeling right now is either like chaotic and people are getting hurt, or they're breaking stuff, or things are falling apart, or fear. And I have two things I want to offer to help you through this transition. And one is, do you know what fear looks like within you? Do you know how your fear takes place? And so for me, I was doing some frequency work to prepare myself for Inner Sanctuary, the embodiment course that I'm offering in February, end of February, March. And I had this reoccurring thought of, what if nobody signs up? What if nobody comes? What if this isn't any different? What if I'm not noticed? What if people don't see me? And it took me a moment to be able to detach the experience of this like sinking sort of, oh no, oh no, oh no kind of feeling, and being able to label it as fear. And once I was able to label it and say, this is fear talking, it totally changed my perspective. I got access to my inner child who was just worried about being forgotten and abandoned and not remembered. And it totally took the charge out of the fear that I was experiencing. And so when you experience fear, do you know how it takes shape? Do you know what happens in your body? Do you know what type of thoughts you have? Practice this week, seeing if you can notice when you hear fear or you witness fear within your own body. And whatever you do, don't pick it up in the collective. There's a lot of that kind of like hazy cloud of angst. I had a lot of zombie apocalypse dreams last night. There's a lot of that collective angst and fear because in general, as humans, we don't handle transitions well. Right? We grip and we grip and we grip instead of letting go and letting the transition through. And so be aware of fear and be mindful of how it's coming up, and then see if you can separate it from your day-to-day existence. And don't buy into the fear that's going around in the collective. And the second thing I want to offer is that this is a energy center and a chakra point that you may not have heard of that is above your head. It's commonly called the soul star chakra. And I've worked with it before, but I had never understood that it was this white sort of fear transmuting chakra. And if everything is feeling really heavy right now and things are feeling really like sluggish and like heavy, instead of imagining yourself being weighed down by what's going on or weighed down by these transitions, can you imagine that things are coming up or being felt because they are being lifted out of the body? And when they're lifted out of the body, I want you to imagine a white, fiery chakra, kind of like a crown that is spinning around the top of your head. And as that fear or that weight or that heaviness or that stagnation is lifted out of the body, it goes through that white chakra and is completely transmuted and obliterated. So see if this week you can imagine things coming up because they're being lifted out of the somatic system. They're being lifted out of your reality and your experience through that soul star chakra being totally cleared from your field, being put back into the universe, instead of feeling weighed down. Just because the collective is experiencing something doesn't mean it has to be your reality too. And we all experience those collective pushes and pulls, but we can rise above that experience and have a different reality for ourselves. So if you found this helpful, leave me a comment. And if you're wondering more about your life path, or you feel like you need help in this transition, considering booking a session on my website at www.katelightstone.com. Blessings.